has it been a very disappointing month. I didn't do anything much of the month at all. I didn't read much. Wonder how many books I actually read. I know I read Sense and Sensibility. I know I read Will He Forgive Her? And Benedict Brown. And I feel like there might have been another audio. Not sure. But that was pretty much it. July was like, I had all these wonderful plans for Jane Austen July, and I forgot that sometimes when we get smoke, that's all she wrote. I cannot follow a story. So I can't even listen sometimes. It just really messes with my brains. I think it's a lack of oxygen thing that it does with the asthma, Yeah. So I just said, forget it. I'm not doing this. I'm just not. And I didn't worry about it. I spent the month making new covers for books and writing a book and even that, I wrote so slow because basically I wrote during the hours that the smoke was blowing the other direction and my brain kind of cleared for a little bit. And then, the wind would shift because this is the desert and the wind shifts. We have a picture. It was from the 70s, I think. There's the old newspaper office. There's a picture of the flagpole and the United States flag is blowing one way and the California flag is blowing the other way because the wind is like fighting. It's crazy. So that's our wind. It changes all the stinking time. So yeah, I just didn't get much done. I didn't do a whole lot of video. I couldn't, you can't do what you can't do. So June, I did my book haul TBR. So all of June and all of July, a few books came in. Some were pre-ordered, some had other things. And I'm going to do something different with this book haul. I really need them put away. As you can see, I reorganized everything. And also, I've got some of these books. Some you knew were coming in because I told you about them. Others have come in. And yeah, we're just going to go through them, but instead of picking up a book and reading the back of it and putting it back, I'm going to tell you why I bought it. See if I can even remember. I think that would be kind of an important thing to learn. Why did I buy this book? If I can't even remember why I decided to buy it, should I have bought it? Maybe it'll get my brain thinking, right? Also, what I think it's about. And then when I actually read the book, I'm gonna put sticky notes in them, and when I actually read the book, I hope I will remember to tell you if what I remembered the book was about is actually, if I'm actually right. Or you're totally free to correct me in comments. I'm totally behind that too. But I thought it'd be something different than here's the book, this is what it says on the back, we're done, move along. Sometimes I need variety. I'm a variety kind of gal. So. First up, we have these that aren't going to stay in the room here, so I'm going to do these first. I'm going to start with Lark Rise to Candleford. I know why I bought this book. I have not read the book. I have seen the adaptation series. I don't know, there's like 3 or 4, maybe more seasons. Really liked the series for the most part. And what I read about the book when I was looking something up for why I bought it, when I read about it, it sounds like it's a little bit like the English Victorian kind of Anne Shirley, in that you have Lara, who is definitely, she's a little fanciful, from what I understand. Again, I'm only going by, what I read about it. And it's a coming of age story. But I bought it because the book that comes out next month, it's a collection of romantic suspense, and they're all winter holiday themed. And mine takes place in a castle. And basically this gal is hiding out in this castle that nobody was in when she got there. It's one of those old Chicago summer home castles that they built back in the Gilded Age and a little bit into the 20s. And so I've got a fan going behind. I bet my hair is blowing. I don't care. She is reading a book and she's going along. She decides, oh, well, I'll read Dracula because that probably takes place in a castle. And then she decides that's way too creepy for, hiding out in this house and reading about, so she's like, put that back. And the books are alphabetical by title instead of by author. And the next one on there was Cranford. So she decides to read that. And when she goes back, there's a note that says, if you liked Cranford, maybe try Larkrise to Candleford. And so that's why I bought it, because I realized, I haven't read it, and I liked the series, and I don't own it. So why not? Now, my daughter has this super beautiful copy that I found her when I was in England at an Oxfam. It was beautiful, illustrated. It's super cool. This is one of those, I think it's like Everyman. Really, really pretty cover. I really like it. But, yeah. So I bought it on eBay. I think I paid like $5 including shipping. I did not pay very much for it. So there's that one. That needs to go in my library room, so whatever. Then I bought, I know why I bought this. I was on Barber Books. They were having their $5 book sale, so a few of those are up here. And I got to the end and I realized that I could pay shipping, or I could get 2 more $5 books. So I got 2 of these. It would have been the same amount either way if I had paid for the shipping, or if I, got up to free shipping. So I got 2 of these, Grant Me Wisdom by Matthew Henry. They're, I think they're devotionals. Yeah, they're devotionals by Matthew Henry, and I like Matthew Henry. So I got 2, and I'm going to send one to my daughter. Surprise, Shelly's. So I was like, why not? There's no reason not to. And if we don't like them, they can go in a little free library. It doesn't matter. Somebody pointing people to scripture is always a good idea. So that's why I bought it. And all I know is that it's Matthew Henry, and then it's a devotional, and then it was $5. Actually, I think it was 4. I think these were actually only 4. I think that's why I chose these over a couple of novels that I really didn't want, and I was just going to put in little free libraries, and then I found those. That's exactly what happened. Okay, anyway, get my story straight. And then, so back in 20, I think it was 18, at the SoCal Writers Conference, David Weinberg sat down with me and said, okay, I need to decide what I'm going to do. I got some, Neville's thirsty. I've got some novels and some short stories, and I also have this devotional idea I want to do. And he was just laying out all the different things that he wanted to write. And he's like, I need direction. And I was like, well, what are you going to be most disappointed if you don't write? Where can you start? What is like pulling at you now? We went back and forth on a lot of things, and I didn't hear anything more about the project. I knew he was still working on stuff, but I didn't know what. He's in my ACFW, American Christian Fiction Writers group. And so, there were lots of, things going on there, and I just didn't know, where he was, and I figured I'd eventually find out. Well, his book is published. Jesus Teach Me is a short, it's a devotional of short stories. So he kind of combined his love of short story and his desire to write a devotional and created this book. And so I was like so excited for him. And he said, he asked me for my address and offered to send me a copy. So I'm like, yes, because yes, I have not read any of these yet, but I don't remember how many there are. Okay, so there's like 52 in here. That's 1 a week. So I could do just literally 1 a week for a year. Or it's 1 a day for not quite 2 months. I could start now and be done by the end of September. But I do have travel in September, so that might not be a good time to do it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it because I don't think I don't want to wait until January. I know that. So, and there's a very good chance that once I start, I'm just going to plow through them all, read them, and then start over more devotional like, because he's using short stories and, So I will see, but, it's really funny. I had this as in my stuff to go out of the room, but I really actually wanted it up there. So I'm going to put it in my chair for now. Anywho, and then for my birthday, my daughter sent me these two books. Thank you, Shalise. So first off is, and this one's going to go in the other room with my other books by Carolyn, Keene, but The Secret of the Gatehouse. It is a Dana girls mystery. I did not I know I've read quite a few of the first ones, and I think this is one of the first 5. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. They don't tell you. What they also don't tell you is anything about the book. I didn't remember this book, and it doesn't tell me anything about it. So I can't tell you what I think it's about, but I'm guessing that there's a gatehouse and something mysterious is going on, and they're going to figure it out. This thing is in great condition. Even the dust jacket. There's only this tiny, tiny little tear here at the bottom corner. For an old, it's still shiny. It's just really cool. So I was really excited about that. She also got me C.S. Lewis's Yours, Jack. This is a collection of the letters he wrote. C.S. Lewis was an incredibly prolific correspondent. He wrote for hours every day to different people. And most of it encouraging in Christian walk. So there's a whole lot of that. And if I recall correctly, there might be, no, it's not this one. There's another book that I found of his that had pictures in it that I didn't expect, but this wasn't it. So, but yeah, so she sent me this. I'm so excited. Thank you, Shalise. And it says Spiritual Guidance from the Letters of C.S. Lewis. So that's staying in here though, because I want to read that soon. All right, and then I've told you about Road Trip Return. It's the sequel to Road Trip Rescue by Becca Werwell, which I speak to tomorrow. Oh, I've got my stickers and stuff. But I speak to her tomorrow on the podcast, and so that's super cool. But my copy came in. This is the special editions with the silver foil. It's so pretty. And this one I bought because I wanted to support the author. I remember that, and I know that it's about the kid that Kimmy from book 1 met on their road trip to try to find her dog. It's about her, that boy, Mateo, and his brother is getting married to Kimmy's aunt, and Kimmy's aunt seems to be bent on ruining things in his mind, and then his brother goes missing, and he has to return to, I think it's Guatemala, because that's, the author, Becca, said that she had been there before, so that's why she chose it. He has to return there. There's something about his dad. I know there was something about his dad and all that. And then he really wants to put a stop to this wedding. So that's what this one's about. And I'm so excited. I have not read it. I have it on Kindle and maybe audio. I'm not sure, but I think so. So this is The Night War by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley, which is really funny. Every time I say Brubaker, it just kind of throws me because my dad had a business partner, Mr. Brubaker, and his kids. And I could swear one of those kids was Kimberly. Anyway, which it can't be her, but it doesn't matter. It just sounds kind of fun, you know. And one of the kids I went to school with there in Mesa was Bradley Bowen. Bradley. He and Katie Horn and I spend a lot of time playing Red Rover and King of the Mountain at John Hancock. But The Night War, this is, you know, she's the one who, the war that saved my life, about the little girl with the club foot. Well, she's a Jewish girl, and she's doing some sort of like helpful spyness, something going on, and that's about all I know. But I bought it because I loved those other books. I thought they were very well done. I love books about World War II, and I definitely wanted to read that one. Then this was a pre-order, Into the Starlight. This is the third and final book in the, well, sort of. I think there's a Christmas novella coming. But in the officials, Sweetwater Crossings, Shadows of Sweetwater Crossing, or something, Sweetwater Crossing, Secrets, that's it. So the Secrets of Sweetwater Crossing, Into the Starlight is the last book. And in this one we find out about the secret behind the house and the guy who built it and all that stuff that's been building throughout the series. And this one, I really thought that book 2 2 is going to be my favorite in the series, but I think this one is definitely going to be my favorite. So I might be wrong about that. But I'm doing that series September thing, and I think this is one of the series that I plan to do for that. I've got a whole bunch of series that I want to like either finish, but I won't talk about that right now. It's not time to talk about September when I just started and just finished my first book for August. A lot of fun on that one too. So then I got an ARC from Tyndale House, and I'm dying of thirst. This is Waiting for Christmas by Lynn Austin, and I got it because they sent it to me. I'm going to be talking to her about it soon on the podcast, and so they sent me a copy. It was very gracious of them. I so appreciate it. And this one is a companion story to her book, All My Secrets, which is multi-generational, 3 women. The family, they have no money, and their only hope is the daughter marrying wealthy, which she can pull off. But the grandma isn't so sure that's a good idea. The mom is desperate, and the daughter is caught in the middle. And then this is Waiting for Christmas. And if you read the back of the book, you can tell that first book had a lot of drama and a lot of growth. And I'm like dying to read that one now. I was looking forward to reading it already. Oh boy, sorry, my leg is falling asleep. But now I'm even more looking forward to reading it because I'm like, whoa. Okay, gotta shift. Okay, so yeah, Waiting for Christmas. Then this one is Brianne Andrews' A Love to Call Home. I believe this was her debut novel, and I know nothing at all about it. I didn't even read the synopsis when I ordered it. I just bought it because the author, just before the book came out, lost her home in a tornado. And I was like, I'm going to support this person. I know nothing. It's pretty. It looks like a romance, obviously. A Love to Call Home. And so this might be one of the ones that I pull from this month because I'll either want to keep it or check it. Either way, it doesn't matter. I wanted to support her, and all the more reason to read it right away and help a debut author get some reviews right away and all that good stuff. So there's that one. Then I talked to Rosie Lee. This gal is one of the most gracious gals on the planet. Everything that could go wrong with her interviews, it wasn't just me, it was both of us, but everything that could go wrong kept going wrong. But she was so gracious. Not only did she, just not get upset about the fact that everything was going wrong, she also sent me a copy of the book. I bought the audio book. I've been listening to the audio. So far, I'm enjoying it. What this one is, and so I didn't buy this book, but I did buy the audio because it sounded like I might like the narrator, and I wanted an audio book and then couldn't listen to it when I thought I was going to, which is why I bought it. But that's okay. I will probably listen first and maybe read in the middle of it. But this one has Naomi, Ruth, Mary, and Martha garden. So the Gardens of Eden, and those names for the characters are deliberate. And Naomi is obviously the mother/mother-in-law. Ruth is the daughter who married into the family, daughter-in-law, right? And then Mary and Martha are sisters, who daughters of Naomi. And there's a very wealthy Black family in Eden, Georgia, who run a peanut empire, and all the family shenanigans that goes with that, and the growth and everything. And it sounds really, really good. And then, come on. Really, maybe I'll pull my Kindle off until I'm done putting those in, and then I can slide it back in. All right, next up, it is The Story of With. This is nonfiction. So I don't know who I was talking to, but I was talking to an author on the podcast, and she recommended this book, said it was so good. So I just turned around and went and bought it. And that's all I know about this book, is that an author that I respect recommended the book, recommended this, and I'm pretty sure it's nonfiction. That's all I got for you. I don't know anything. I think I will like it. All right. Then was a pre-order. I spoke to the author on the podcast, and when I found out it was World War II, Poland, horses, Patton gets involved. I was all in it. I love World War II. I love historical fiction. I love those lesser known facts of World War II that this one covers. Some Arabian horses in Poland that they got, it's like 250 of them or something like 200 to 250, somewhere in there. They managed to get out of the country, and Patton came to the rescue on that. And then she's an American, and there is also a British guy. And I bought it because it sounded amazing, and I also definitely wanted to support a debut author. You will hear that a lot. I like to support indie and debut authors especially, but also just authors who I love. That too. This is the Kindle Once Upon an Apple, the Snow White retelling, cozy fairy tale retelling with 7 goats instead of dwarves that I did the Kickstarter for. And I bought it because I definitely wanted to support the Kickstarter. And look at that beautiful map. Yeah. She has another one, a Kickstarter up right now. And I have so far resisted, but I'm really tempted to just go in there and just give it up and do the thing. Because I think I want it. I'm just not sure that I'm going to love that story. Snow White is like my least favorite fairy tale. And I bought this, so why not? I don't know. We'll see. I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, if I remember in time and I go in and it's still doing it, I may just let myself do it, but whatever. Then Karen Barnett, Kriegel Publications, sent me her Where Trees Touch the Sky. This is going to be similar-ish in style, if you will, to When Stone Wings Fly, which was amazing. It was a split time in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, whatever. This one is in the Redwoods. And I believe it is also split time, but don't quote me on that. I'm going to be talking to Karen soon, I think. Pretty sure. But they were gracious and they sent me a copy. And so that's, why I have it. But I would have bought it anyway. I mean, there's no doubt I would have purchased the book. So thank you, Kriegel, and Karen. And B, I cannot wait to read this. This will probably be an August read. Definitely. Then... something borrowed, Rachel Scott McDaniel, Allison Pittman, and Susie Finkbeiner. I talked about how I was desperate to read Susie's and probably Rachel Scott McDaniel's, and I want so badly. And I will not be surprised if it happens. But I really, really, really badly want to just love Allison Pittman's the most. I mean, it sounds terrible, but Allison Pittman's, the description of it doesn't interest me. It just, I was like, meh. And I like Allison Pittman's writing. So it's not an aside to her. It didn't grab me. So I would love to be totally wrong and that one end up being my favorite. Okay. But I really think Susie Finkbeiner's is going to be my favorite. And Susie reached out to me and said, hey, would you like a copy? I can get you a copy. So Kriegel also sent me a copy of this book. So appreciated. Thank you, Susie. And this is an August read. Period. I don't know how I'm going to make this fit with camping because that dress, we don't do camping in this dress, but I don't care. Somehow, some way, this will fit in there. And then, because Amanda Dykes, right? Between the Sound and Sea takes place in the Outer Banks. I talked to Amanda about this book on the podcast, and I pre-ordered it because it's Amanda. Period. But the thing is that I was sure that this book was going to be my favorite Amanda Cox book ever after we talked about it. And then she gave me a little bit of a, oh look, there's some, didn't know there were things in here. She gave, nice little book plate. She gave me a little heads up on what's coming next. I can't believe I haven't even read this book yet, and I was confident it would be my favorite book. But the next one, I think it's going to be my favorite Amanda Cox. But for now, this one I'm sure is going to be. And it's because there's a lighthouse and there's notes stuck in the bricks of the wall of the lighthouse, and it has a tie to World War II and the way that the U-boats were off the coast and they were trying to bomb us. People think that we never had any of that kind of stuff, but the Japanese bombed us, and bombs landed in California and all the way over to Michigan. And yeah, we had some U-boats going after us on the East Coast too. So it did affect us here more than. They did a really good job of kind of hiding it from the American people. They could do that back then. But yeah, pretty scary stuff. And she wrote about it. So obviously I had to read it because A, it was Amanda Cox, and B, it was World War II, and C, Outer Banks. And oh, she talked about this antique store that she went to. It's in a guy's house. And he's just sitting there in his recliner, and you just walk around his house. And I was like, I have got to go see this before it's not a thing anymore. I'm dying. So now I have to go to the Outer Banks. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off, but we'll figure that out. This one is a replacement. That's why I know why I bought it. It was $5 on that Barber book thing. I love this series by Michelle Greep. And I don't know where mine is. I think I may have given it to my daughter. And I decided that I actually do want to own the series, I think. And for $5, I was willing to spend the money to see if I'm willing to spend the money for the rest. If not, it'll go in a little free library and somebody will get to read a good book. So I figured it was worth it. Then this one, oh my gravy. Okay, so back in World War II, I know there were decks of cards. You can actually buy facsimiles of them. There were decks of cards that, I don't remember if you had to soak them and peel something off, or if soaking them would like remove some of the dye. But basically, if you laid them all out, you could get an escape map. And the Red Cross would send these in to POW camps to help these people escape. And I don't know if the Red Cross knew that those were doing that, but that's what was happening. Well, in this one, there's a game, and she does that with this. So this is more of an on the home front kind of story, but I don't remember if it's, I'm not allowed to look. I don't remember if it's US or England, but I kind of feel like it might be US. But anyway, she's part of this gal on the cover, I'm assuming that's who it is part of making sure that this game happens and that the games get to the people and that they, are able to use this to escape. So that's all I know. And that was enough for me. I was like, yes. But I bought it because it was part of that sale. And I wanted to grab some books that I had been interested in, but I wasn't willing to buy full price yet. I wasn't at the place where I've got to read that now. So I wasn't going to buy it full price yet. But that was one that as soon as I saw it on there, I was like, oh, there's that one. I'm definitely getting that. And I have not read Juliet Code or the Cairo Curse. They follow the Mistletoe Countess by Pepper Basham. And so when this one was $5, I grabbed it because I had a blast with the Mistletoe Countess. Though I will say, for prudes like me, that book came as close to the line as it possibly could, and kind of inched a toe over it. They're married, and I was uncomfortable. I flipped pages because it just got a little too sensual for me. But Pepper is much more comfortable with those things than I am. And so I'm hoping that maybe now that they're no longer newlyweds who are in a sham marriage, so to speak, kind of thing, maybe we won't need that. I don't know. But come on, Cairo Curse, they're going on an adventure, an archaeological adventure, and the best parts of the Mistletoe Countess was how the gal, I can't remember her name. Oh, but she was such a, I read books so I know how things are supposed to go. She applied it. It's like the ultimate in romanticizing your life before that was a thing. She was just like, oh, well, in a book, it would happen this way, so I'm going to do this thing. And she's just these grandiose, that final scene with the rope and all the stuff. It was great. So I had to have it. I've been meaning to buy them, and I just hadn't. So at $5, I did. Also, Beneath a Peaceful Moon. This is a South Pacific World War II It's part of the Heroines of World War II series, as is the game one. And so I went ahead and grabbed it. I don't remember anything more. I didn't realize they had a Pacific one, and I've enjoyed most of the ones in this series that I have. And so I was like, I'm going to try it. I do not know who Debbie Lee is. And again, I hadn't heard of this one at all. I mean, all of this series has made a big buzz every time they come out. I never saw anything about this one. So I don't know why, but I was like, I'm going to give it a shot, because why not? And then I think this is my last, this is my last Barber book. It's Liz Tolsma. I thought I had bought this book, but it is not on my shelf. I meant to buy it. This is World War II, France. She is leading these Jewish children out of France before the Nazis can get them. And I believe this little girl here has Down syndrome. And so she's especially eager to get this child away before Hitler's army comes through. And it's about that story. And I totally want to read it, because yes. And so I went ahead and bought it. And if it turns out that I had already gotten it, oh well. But I cannot find it anywhere. So, and I have not read it. I thought I had, and then I was like, no, you talk to Liz about it. There's a difference. I think that's what keeps happening, is that I talk so much about the books with the authors that then I feel like I've read them, even though I totally haven't. I'll get over that someday. And then I was reading James Scott Bell, Writing from the Middle, Write Your Novel from the Middle, or whatever. It's his book about writing from the middle. Make sure you got the middle of the story sewn up, and then, always good to learn new things and be reminded of things that you've studied. And I read this book several times, and I was listening again, and this time I did it. So he talks about this noir detective story that he ran across that he thought was so brilliantly written. And he actually puts a bit from it. It's a very short paragraph or so from the book, which is basically a sex scene. Okay. No kid would have a clue that that's what it was, because as he puts it, there are no body parts. It is all described with the ocean and it's an emotional description using nature as the descriptor, as opposed to actual. I didn't even blink listening to it. And again, I'm the prude, right? So I this time I was like, you know what? He keeps talking about how great this was. So I got it. It's Big Red's Daughter by John McParland. And then it also had, this copy also has Tokyo House. Is that not the crazy, it's like a reprint, I'm sure, but is that not like the crazy vintage? I mean, I was just like, oh my goodness. But he says that, this guy doesn't write with body parts. And I think he said there isn't language in it. Don't quote me on that. But if there is, it's really mild, because James Scott Bell wouldn't put up with it. So I decided I wanted to give it a shot. Even if I don't like it, I suspect my mom will. So why not? And then, obviously not Christian fiction, because it's from like the 40s or 50s. And then I chatted with K.D. Bianca on the podcast. She wrote the Watch series, the Watch Mysteries, something Watch Mysteries. Time Will Tell, Dead Man's Watch on the Fence Post, I think might be the titles. And then I think it was maybe Watch on the Fence Post. Is that the one? One of her books has like the best opening scene ever. It's these two girls, and I think they're on a college campus, and they're like, I don't know, 11, 12, something like that. And they're like observing and trying to gather information. They're playing detective, if you will. It was so well done. And I was like, you need to turn this into a middle grade mystery series, because this is awesome. She's doing it. I'm so excited because that was such a great opening scene. It was probably my favorite opening scene ever. I mean, that even because of how delightful those girls, it's even in some ways more of a favorite than like the opening to Mrs. Kip, which is hilarious and delightful. Yeah, there's just something about those girls that really grab me, and I love them. Well, she has a new book out, Lacey Starr, and I think this is the series, Lady Pilot in Command novel. And she sent me this copy. She was so gracious. She's like, oh, you want a copy? I'll send it. And I was like, I'm not going to say no because I'm going to read the book either way. So I got the book. I have not read it yet, but this one, she is a pilot, and something goes terribly wrong on one of her, she's like a pilot chauffeur, an airplane chauffeur, right? And something goes wrong, and that's all I remember. I don't remember anymore. Although I do suspect I will really like it. I already showed you yours, Jack. So I bought the third Electra McDonald. No, not. I bought the third Electra McDonald's I cannot speak it. I bought the third in the Electra McDonald series, Playing It Safe by Ashley Weaver. I loved the first two, had a blast with them. This is the series where in the first book, Electra and is it her uncle or her father? I think it's her uncle, are caught safecracking, and they have a choice and go to jail, or they can help the crown for the war effort. Gee, I wonder what they're going to do. And then in this one, we have another mystery. I don't even know what the mystery was. I just saw that a fourth was either out or coming out. And I was like, wait, I don't think I bought the third. So I went and looked to see if the third was over on Book Outlet, and it was. And I have a cart over there that's still sitting there. And so I went over to Amazon, though, to see, do I need to buy this whole cart, or can I just buy that book? Well, Amazon had it on sale for $8. There was quite a few of them that were on sale for $8 at the time. Where is it? I got this one, which is just released in March, and it was $8. So that was like, yay! So I bought it, and I left my cart alone, or this would be a bigger thing. I don't know what this one's about, but I'm guessing there has something to do with a ship. That's all I know, and I don't care. That one might get read this month. And finally, I bought this, What's Mine's Mine, by George MacDonald. He's the one who wrote like the whole Curate of Glaston series, and like At the Back of the North Wind, and the Sir Gibbies, and lots of really great books that I love. Well, Amanda G. Stevens, who wrote the No Less Days and the Haven Seeker series, which I will rave about until doomsday, she did a story on Facebook that showed some of her favorite books, and this was one of them. And I'm like, I haven't read that one. I need to read that one. If she loves this book, I'm probably going to love this book. Guys, this book has itsy bitsy. And it's huge. It's just such a thin, deceptive little book, and then you open it, and it's just like... But that's okay. That's okay. I want to read that soon, but I want to read that last book in the Glaston Curate thing first. So those are my book hauls. Got quite a few, and very happy. But I do definitely want to clear out the room, so I'm just going to hold these up like so and go with this because, yeah, a lot of books. Did you get any new books that I need to know about, that I need to read? I don't know. So yeah, and I did get all this cleaned up. I got that one set up over there. I can have some more books over there now. And I got a stack of books there and behind me here that get to go into the other room. So I'm going to bring some of those books back. I just thought I needed to shake some up. So some of the books here have come out, and I brought some over to here, and now there's room there. Because it's like, if I haven't read them yet, then maybe I need to like move them around so I don't become blind to them, and bring in other ones from in there that, I become blind to, because if you see them in the same spot all the time. If you'll notice, I don't usually put my books in any particular order. I just shove them up there. It's like, what looks good? But they're gonna howl. They're gonna howl. Give them a second. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books here that I did that first chapter. Poor Neville's like, he's trying so hard. I know. You'll come here. Come here. Yes. Come on. Yes. Come on. He needs a haircut. He's getting a haircut tomorrow. Come here. This is Neville, and he's saying hi and wanting really bad to howl with the other dogs. Okay, I'll let you go. Don't pull my clothes off. So, yeah. So, but I started those chapters, so I'm thinking I would like to maybe read those. How about that? So we'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do this month, because I'm doing my camping. I finished my first book. I got to figure out where it fits on here. And I think I want to do the Anciency of Scandal this month. That one's really calling to me. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. But I'm going to have fun doing it, because I'm already having fun reading again. And I can breathe, although we have a new fire. Pray. Please pray. We have a new fire. And it's only like 14, 15 miles away. So it's not going to hit our town. That's not the problem. I'm truly not concerned about fire wiping out our town. I'm truly not. I'm not even worried about the outlying houses. I'm truly not. There's just nothing to burn. But the smoke to get to that place where there's nothing to burn is a totally different story. Especially if the wind blows it in another direction, it could wipe out our little mini Joshua Tree forest. And that would be sad. Hopefully it won't come. It's right now, it's behind the mountain. Hopefully it won't come over, but we shall see. Anyway, I will see you on Thursday, and I have ideas, but that's all I'm saying, because we all know that every time I think I know what I'm going to be doing, I can't do it. See you then.